fired me 2 weeks before retirement to steal my pension. I sued for age bias and won $1.8 million. I worked for the same tech company for 30 years, putting my blood, sweat, and tears into that job. I was 64 and exactly 2 weeks away from my full retirement date when my pension would fully vest and I'd receive a massive retirement bonus. Instead of congratulations, my boss called me into his office and fired me, citing restructuring. The real reason? They wanted to save the $500,000 retirement payout. They stole my future, but I sued them for age discrimination and wrongful termination, proving their greed, and won a $1.8 million settlement. My performance reviews were stellar. For 3 decades, I was rated exceptional. But suddenly, 6 months before my retirement, my young manager, who was half my age, started nitpicking my work. He would criticize small errors and suddenly assign me to impossible projects with unrealistic deadlines. I knew they were building a paper trail, but I kept my head down, just trying to make it to the finish line. 2 weeks before the finish line, my manager handed me an envelope. The HR representative, sitting coldly beside him, read the script. Due to corporate restructuring, your role has been eliminated, effective immediately. They tried to soften the blow by offering me 3 months of severance pay, but the termination letter explicitly stated that since I was no longer an employee, I forfeited all unvested retirement benefits, including my massive pension and bonus. The 3 months of severance pay they offered was less than 10% of what they owed me. They were gambling that I was too old, too tired, and too financially weak to fight back. I hired an employment lawyer specializing in the Age Discrimination in Employment Act. The law is clear. Firing an employee close to their retirement date requires strong, non-discriminatory proof. My lawyer immediately filed a lawsuit alleging that the restructuring was merely a pretext for cost-saving age discrimination. The discovery phase was where the company's motives were exposed. We demanded every single communication regarding my termination. The evidence was undeniable. The budget email. We found an internal email chain between the CFO and the head of HR. The CFO wrote, "We need to eliminate the liability of OP's retirement package. Target termination date 2 weeks before vesting." This was the smoking gun, proving the decision was purely financial and age-motivated. The replacement. We proved that my job was not eliminated. It was simply reassigned to a new, younger employee who was being paid 1/3 of my salary and had no accrued retirement benefits. Faced with this damning evidence of internal conspiracy, the company panicked. They knew a jury would view the email as proof of malicious corporate theft. The liability for punitive damages on top of the stolen pension was immense. The company immediately abandoned their restructuring defense and begged for mediation. They tried to buy my silence, offering $500,000, then $1 million. My lawyer refused. He held firm on the fact that they owed me the original pension, plus compensation for the 2 years of emotional stress and punitive damages for their intentional malice. The final settlement was an astronomical $1.8 million. This included the full amount of my pension and bonus, plus over $800,000 in damages. The company was forced to issue a public statement that my separation was amicable and had nothing to do with performance. I walked away richer than I would have been if they had just let me retire honestly. The lesson? Never accept a severance package if you are fired close to a vesting date or retirement, especially if you are over 40. The company's motive is almost certainly financial, which constitutes age discrimination under the ADEA. Your lawyer must subpoena all internal HR and CFO emails. The cost-saving motive is your strongest weapon against a major corporation. Do not sign away your rights. Hire a lawyer and turn their greed into your financial freedom.